find the slope that passes through the points -9, -4, and -16, -8. Now, when someone, a test writer, a textbook refers to points, this term is synonymous, really. Well, points are really what you get when you graph ordered pairs. Okay, so there's a little bit of a misnomer here. Points and ordered pairs are kind of two different things, but they're related. These two items that are given to us are ordered pairs. If you went to graph them on an x and y coordinate system, they would become points. So let's just use these ordered pairs and see what we have to find slope. Then the main issue of this problem is to calculate the slope of the line that passes through these two points that we get out of graphing these two ordered pairs. Now, we know that the first number in an ordered pair is x, represents an x value. The second number represents a y value. The order of ordered pairs is alphabetical order. So each of these points represents respectively an x and y combination of values. So to distinguish one of the pair of x's from the other pair, one pair of xy's from the other pair of xy's, let's give them subscripts, x1, y1. This is kind of arbitrary, except for that the ones belong together in one ordered pair and the subscripts of 2 belong together in the other ordered pair. This is further reinforced by if I labeled this this first ordered pair as point number 1 that we would get after we graph this ordered pair. This second ordered pair would generate a labeled point called point 2. So it kind of like all these subscripts kind of go together to help make sense of the information that we're being given. Now, there are two formulas that we can use to calculate slope of a line given various forms of information. One of them is the geometric definition. Let's use it that way. Here's what's referred to as the geometric definition of slope that most people remember from high school. The geometric definition of slope, where slope is represented by the variable m, is this. Slope is calculated as rise over run between any 2 points. If you can measure the rise and the run somehow, and you put rise over run, then that will generate a number for slope. This is one formula for slope, to calculate slope. There is another one known as the algebraic definition of slope, and that is a little bit longer. Slope is defined as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And there are various ways to memorize this, but it must be memorized in order to use it on a test or a multiple choice exam. One version that one student shared with me was she considered it wine glasses over picnic table. This gets the y's in the numerator. If you see this as like wine glasses over picnic table, these are the braces of a picnic table. And if these are wine glasses, we need to be 21 to drink alcohol in most states in the United States. 21, we repeat it again. But some folks think that drinking alcohol is a negative thing, so maybe that might be how we arrive at the negative signs between these. This gimmick, if you will, may help you remember the algebraic definition of slope. Now, which one of these would be the appropriate formula to use in this problem? Well, I'm thinking that for rise and run, there are only 2 places for numbers to go. We have a rise number and a run number. But in the algebraic definition, we have 4 places for numbers to go in. since the ordered pairs represent 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, then I believe that's one way to remember the number of places you have to substitute numbers in should kind of match the source of information that you have. So let's use the algebraic formula. And here's my student's gimmick for wine glasses over picnic table. Have to be 21 to drink alcohol. In most states in the United States, it's a negative thing to some people to drink alcohol. Now, let's prepare the formula for substitution. Here's the minus from between the two y's. Here's the minus between the two x's. And we're going to match up, the y's as we go. This is one trick. I've labeled the values with the labels underneath for what's x1, y1, x2, y2. So let's systematically fill in these parentheses. y2 is going to go into this into these parentheses. y2 brings me over to this -8. I'm just going to circle it and make sure I get this filled in correctly. -8. y1 is going to go in this set of parentheses. y1, when I look for where y1 is, we find that y1 is -4. x2 is going to go, the value given for x2 that we're using for x2 is going to go into this set of parentheses. We scan across, there's x1, this is x2, and x2 is -16. x1, the value that's given to us, is going to go in this blank, and we find the fourth number of all the 4 that are given to us is -9. Now what we do is carefully perform subtraction, and we can use the concept of additive inverse for these. Minus a negative is the same as plus a positive. We find the same thing happening in the denominator. Minus a negative is the same as plus a positive. This will make it easier for us to make our calculation. Now that we have addition between two numbers, I can think money. -8 is like owing someone $8. +4 is like that I only have $4 to pay this person back. If I owe 8, but I can only pay back 4, I still owe that person $4 after I pay them back all this 4 that I have. Now, something similar in the denominator, when I have addition between two numbers, I can think money. I owe someone $16, but I only have 9 to pay them back. So when I pay them back all the 9, I take what I've paid back and subtract it from my debt. I still owe this person $7. So I'm just doing in my head 16 minus 9 makes 7, but I owe more than I have, so this 7 becomes negative. That's kind of how we did it up here too in the numerator. 8 take away 4 that I'm paying back leaves 4, but that still leaves a debt of 4. So that's how we got the -4 and the -7, is by thinking about money. Now, the last thing I have to consider is that negative divide by negative makes positive, and 4/7 does not simplify because 4 has only got 2's in it, and 7 is a prime number, so there are no common factors here. I believe we've arrived at the slope of the line that passes through these two given points, so we find that the answer, the proper answer that gives us the correct response is B, +4/7. That should be, if this was a multiple choice test or a final exam, the correct response would be B.